Hey, what's up guys, it's Lord Civic, and today I'm very excited. First and foremost, this is going to be my first review with my new dedicated home theater setup, so I can give you guys a more detailed and layered review. Then also, we are going to be reviewing my favorite anime movie of all time, Akira. First and foremost, I'm going to be unboxing it, then I'm going to watch the movie, then I will give you guys a 4K technical review after. I am super excited. I had to order this from Japan. It took about 2 months to come. It came out, I believe, April 24th this year. I don't know if it'll ever get a US release, but I'm a huge fan, so I had to buy this, and I'm super excited to just like hop in. So with saying that, if you guys like what you see, please make sure to hit the like, subscribe button. With saying that, let's hop right in. So as I said, Akira is my favorite anime movie of all time, and it's kind of funny actually because I watched Akira and play Persona 5 at around the same time, I believe 3 or 4 years ago. And those two pieces of media was what got me into anime. And like currently I'm watching like My Hero, I'm playing through Persona 5 Royal, Next Game Plus. I actually think Persona 5 Royal might be in my top 5 favorite games of all time. And these two pieces of media are actually like so good that even if you're not like a fan of anime per se, I'd still recommend both of them. Now, this movie ran me about $90 because I had to first and foremost order it from Japan. It's currently only available in Japan. I don't know if there'll ever be a US release, which I'm hoping there will be because I'd love to get a fancy 4K steelbook version of it. But for now, this will more than do. I am just honestly happy that one of my favorite movies of all time is finally available in 4K. So this little booklet that I'm opening right here, it's not really anything too fancy. It's actually, I believe, screen grabs and different shots from the movie. But the thing about it is that once I open up the booklet, you'll see that all the writing is in Japanese. And sadly for me, I do not speak Japanese. Now, with saying that, this 4K Blu-ray version that I got didn't come with much. I believe there's a more special edition version that's like $10 or $20 more that comes with more trinkets. But honestly, I'm just so glad that I got one of my favorite movies in the best format possible, 4K. Now, with saying that, as I said before, Akira is a phenomenal film. And I love films like Akira or even games like Persona 5 that just break every barrier of like the specific genre it's in, whether it be anime, a musical, an action movie, sci-fi. It's so good that's like, oh, it's not, you can't say, oh, Akira's a good anime movie. You could say Akira is one of the best movies of all time. That's how good it is. And if you haven't seen the movie, I cannot recommend it enough. I recommend it to all my friends, all my family, everybody that hasn't seen it. I'm just like, you guys need to watch Akira. Now, saying that, I hope you enjoy these pretty shots of the case, and after this, we are going to hop into the 4K technical review. So I actually really enjoyed that a lot, but first and foremost, I want to go over the technical specs of the film. The 4K transfer was done with the original 35mm film negatives, and you are looking at an aspect ratio of 1.85, so you're not going to get those super big black bars that you see in a lot of blockbuster films, but you're going to get those small black bars that you see in a lot of animated films. Now, first and foremost, before I hop into review, I want to go over the DNR usage that is applied to the film. I've seen a lot of people complaining about it online, and honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I feel like between live action and animation, the rules of DNR are applied differently. And in live action, it can kind of like debog a film or bring it down a lot, as I spoke about a couple months ago when I did my Star Wars reviews. But here in animations, I could see how it kind of not brings out, but it kind of deters the animation a little bit, but it's not anything to be like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, why is this even in the film? The film's pretty old now, so I could see like a little DNR usage, and I don't feel at any point it was ever overused. Now, with saying that, this movie even with a regular Blu-ray, was just downright gorgeous. But right here with that extra coat of HDR applied, it is beautiful. Now the thing about it is all colors aren't treated equally though. Now, you guys will be happy to hear that the overall theme color of the movie, red, is just gorgeous. Kanada's bike, Kanada's outfit, Tetsuo when he puts on the cape at the back, a lot of the buildings, the walls when they're walking the schoolyard, everything is just has to do with red. It's just like, whoa. The contrast of when Kanada's on his bike and you see the color shade of like his jacket, then the different shade of the motorcycle as he's like revving it up with the yellow, everything just pops. It is just ridiculous. Like, I mean, red is this thing, but they were just like, you know what, red is the name of the game, and it's just, I'm sorry I'm talking so much about red, but it's just like gorgeous. Another color that really looked good to me, but I didn't see was used a lot in the film, was orange. There's that one point when they're like sneaking into like the lab in like the halfway in the movie when they're all dressed in like the orange coating and stuff like that. But other than that, other colors that I didn't really like per se, or I wish it was more vibrant, it was like yellow, blue, or green. But as I said, like red is the name of the game, so I feel like they said we have to go above and beyond with the red, and like every other color is just supposed to take the back seat. I kind of really wish every color was as vibrant as like red and orange, but that's just that about the HDR. Now, with saying that, the picture quality is pretty impressive. And this is what I was talking about before, where I don't think the DNR did that much to hurt the film. Before, when I was watching Akira, I would mostly just pay attention to the character I was talking or who was fighting or whatever was going on in the shot. Not to say that it wasn't good to look at everything that was happening on the screen. I took quick glances and I would like dart around and stuff like that. But here in its 4K native like animation it's just, you can't do anything except look everywhere. At every second of the movie, you're gonna be like looking at what the artist did. Like literally the moment when Tetsuo is like revving up Kanada's bike and he's like in the alleyway, I was literally looking at every single corner aspect of the film. Everything is so rich and gorgeous. The buildings, the cyberpunk looking buildings, just like gorgeous. And that's one moment where it's like orange and yellow, and that looks really good. Then I love all the holograms of the color and different stuff. It's like you can't, the image looks so crisp, it's like you can't do anything except just all take it in. There's multiple moments during the film where I would just keep pausing it because I was just like, wow, this is so good. And then as I was doing the little B-roll shots that you guys would see at the film, I was even seeing even more stuff. Like this movie just looks absolutely stunning. And in its 4K image, you can literally see like where the artist like did the little drawings to the cell animation. I believe this movie has 160,000 cell animations, which is just absolutely insane, even by today's standards. But it was just like, it was really pleasant to look at. And it's crazy, like everybody's seen this movie, the ending battle with everything that's going on is the explosions. Everything is that's the part where there was just like, we're going for a more unrealistic fashion of things happening. So it just got super colorful, and like, let me just tell you that was just a spectacle. Now on the audio side, I loved a lot of things, but there was one aspect that I didn't like, and that's on the lows, is the sounds that were coming out of subwoofer, which I will get onto in a second. But let me just applaud Akira's soundscape. I've always listened to this movie either through my Sonos or through a TV. This is the first time, as I said, I'm watching on my dedicated home theater setup. And sadly, this is a 5.1 channel mix, not a Dolby Atmos mix, but don't let that deter you, because it is still absolutely fantastic. I listened to the subbed, which I believe subbed means that the voices are in Japanese and there's subtitles on the screen. That's the version I listened to. And it's a very interesting mix. Not only does dialogue come across clear, but Akira has this sense of individuality when it takes with the soundscape, not only with the sounds that are coming from every direction, but also with the way that the score plays in the film. There will be some moments where the score will be playing or the soundscape will be playing, it'll go silent, the score will absolutely take over, and then there's some moments where it'll just be this empty plane of existence where no sound is playing, and it literally, like, I mean, I don't know if I can say I feel like I'm in the film, but it literally like takes me to a soundscape where I feel like I'm closer to the film than ever. That one part where they're in the baby or the kids' room and there's like plays a little boing 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 boing, that little soundscape thing is like the sound is literally bouncing from every channel, every speaker, like left, right, surround. It's just like, it's like bouncing around you, and it's so good. And the thing that I said I didn't like is the lows are there, but it's kind of like boom, like boom, boom, we're there, like hello, we're there. But I wish it was like boom, 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 open up your door, we're here. Like, oh my gosh, I'm shaking, and I had to turn down my subwoofers by 2 dB, and I was gonna turn them up even more, but I felt like I wouldn't be able to give a more like realistic review of it, because like if I lowered it too much, I'd be like, oh yeah, this movie rocked the house. But I kept it at what I usually kept it at, and it didn't rock the house. But with saying that, when explosions and stuff were going off at the end and like buildings were falling, I did feel a lot, but I wish it was more low end throughout the film. Now, with saying that, with the small DNR applied, the HDR varying across the board, and me loving the audio soundscape but wishing more in the low end side, I would give this movie 8.8 and 8.9. If I had to give it a lower score, probably an 8.7. It's just, I feel like, first of all, I'm not even applying the price of it. It's just like a blanket score of like a 4K film. Now, with saying that, would I recommend you paying $90 to get this film? I'd have to say yes and no. There's a couple of variables that apply. Like me, Akira is my favorite anime movies of all time. Not one of my favorite anime movies, my favorite anime movie of all time. So for this was kind of like a no-brainer for me, because I've been actually waiting a long time for this. Now, with saying that, is it worth paying between the Blu-ray and the 4K? For me, yes. It looks absolutely stunning on an OLED, and seeing some showcases, I don't know why I didn't even talk about it earlier, but at one point, when they're riding their bikes at the beginning of the movie, one of the characters will hit one of the clown, I don't think it's a clown posse, but the clown people, and they'll fly back into an abyss of darkness. It just looks absolutely phenomenal. I did not see that on the regular 4K Blu-ray, but I feel like I would recommend this for the only people I can really recommend this to is either 4K enthusiasts with really good TV, Akira being their favorite movie all time, and then also having a 4K movie. But I can't do this unless if you're not a 4K enthusiast and you not a big fan of like anime, or you're not even a big fan of anime, because as I said in the beginning, this breaks the barriers of anime. But I'm a big fan of like Akira. I can't recommend it. It's like I'm hoping it gets a U.S. release so I can just be like, oh yes, this is a no-brainer. Like if this had a U.S. release, $20, $20, $30, I can say it's a no-brainer. But with it being $90 right now, unless it's like absolutely like you need it, you feel like you need it, then I can't recommend it. But honestly, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad I purchased it. I don't regret my decision at all. And I loved it, and as I said, I gave it a blanket score if it was just like without price or anything, and 8.8, 8.9. But yeah, with saying that, I really enjoyed the film. Really excited to review some more movies in the future. This is my first review at my 4K home theater review. As I said, if you want me to answer any questions specifically, because I know a lot of people have questions about this 4K transfer, feel free to shoot them down below in the bottom. But with saying that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, please make sure to hit the like, subscribe button. And with saying that, I hope you guys have a good day.